Welcome back to In Depth with Academia, the podcast where we take a closer look at fascinating academic papers from around the world, helping you see how these studies connect to your own life and work. I'm Richard Price, CEO of academia.edu, and today we're diving into a paper by Tibor Borz Borbeli-Petzé, one that really challenges how we think about careers and career guidance, especially when we step outside that familiar Euro-Atlantic bubble. So, the paper's full title is Career and Career Guidance Beyond the Euro-Atlantic Culture, Collectivist Counselling Theories and Practices. Quite a mouthful, I know, but the core question here is simple and kind of radical. Or is it shaped by those societies, maybe even kind of forced onto other countries through globalization and the legacy of, colonialism? This question matters because, well, if our whole approach to helping people define their careers is mismatched to the real context, their community, family, and history, are we really guiding them, or just confusing or even alienating them? Pause to think of people you know from somewhere else or who grew up in a tightly knit community. Have you ever noticed how different the process of picking a job or pursuing a dream can look? Now, Borbeli-Petzé's paper is mainly an overview, a big picture look at how career counselling happens outside the Euro-Atlantic orbit, particularly in Asia, Africa, Central and South America. The paper doesn't claim to have all the answers, and neither do I. I'm just presenting it neutrally, not endorsing specific positions or prescriptions. Remember, academic research is about poking at ideas and seeing what holds up, not about pinning down absolute truth. Okay, so how does career guidance play out in these other regions? The first huge insight is that most Western theories about careers are based on individualism. It's about unlocking your potential, making your own choices, taking personal responsibility. Pick your path. But Borbeli-Petzé points out that in much of the world, think parts of Africa, Asia, and Latin America, community and family play a much more direct, ongoing role. The self-made narrative doesn't quite fit. Instead, the group's well-being, the family's needs, or even the tribe's survival shape what career choices are considered. Advice is sought from elders, spiritual leaders, or tight-knit networks, not just like a hired counsellor with formal training. He uses some vivid examples. Like, in Uganda, career guidance is tangled up with issues like health and basic survival, not just picking a cool major or internship. In India, the Jiva approach to career planning takes a non-linear, cyclical view, drawing on ancient philosophies that see career as just one aspect of a lifetime of growth, not always a straight line from A to B. In Japan and China, the emphasis on harmony, social status, and family honor deeply shape people's choices. So, even if there's a Western-looking counselling program, the values behind it are totally different, I realise. I'm getting a tiny bit carried away here, but it's fascinating. And quick digression, have you ever noticed how food from around the world also gets transformed as it travels? Like, Chinese food in America is nothing like what you get in Guangzhou. It's the same with career models, local context, local tastes, local needs, remix everything. Anyway, back on track, Borbeli-Petzé also argues that importing Western models without adapting them can do real harm. Psychometric tests, for example, often don't work in African countries because the cultural assumptions just aren't shared. Sometimes the very idea of career is misunderstood or ignored because, well, it doesn't capture the reality of family farming or life without formal employment. What does all this mean for you, dear listener? Well, even if you're not a career counsellor, chances are you or someone close to you will face questions about work, calling, meaning, and duty. The paper invites us to pause and consider, are we assuming our vision of success is the only one? Could we be missing richer, more collective, or more flexible ways of imagining the future? And in a world where migration, mixed families, and global teams are common, maybe understanding these differences isn't just a benefit, it's a necessity. Phew. I've covered a lot. Again, just presenting the paper, not telling you what to believe, but I hope you'll walk away with a bit more curiosity, and maybe a reminder that career paths, like people, can come in all shapes and sizes. Thanks for listening to In Depth with Academia. I'm Richard Price. See you next time when we'll dive into even more surprising ideas from across the globe. Remember, research gives us questions, not final answers. Keep reflecting, keep exploring, and as always, stay curious.